when I work on something really hard and you gonna front like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, we gonna support you, you know what I mean? Da, 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 da. You give me all this, like, you know, back in the day or day one shit. Like, you're not my day one, bro. If you can't even like or comment or give any type of support to my albums, then shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Sir Bavelli back in the place to be, La Merca Superior, Palace 81. We in the building, live in effect, live and direct. Tell a friend, tell your girlfriend for me. It's your boy, Mr. 9 Times. Yeah, man. So we've had a really busy, real productive weekend thus far. Just been getting everything right for the week as I usually do. Friday, I dropped Greenlight 3, and I've been promoting the shit out of it. I feel like I'm bugging people whenever I promote a song. I feel like it's just, I don't like promoting myself because I'm not a promoter, right? I'm the artist. So whenever I feel like I'm putting my songs out there in your face like that, I feel like it gets dizzying, like you just seen right there. So that's why I don't really go out on a limb, or I just go out to promote. But this time I made it a real good point to just be in your face as much as I can creatively, just putting everything, all my songs and what I feel like y'all should listen to out there, because at the end of the day, I worked real hard on Greenlight 3, you know, so I want to treat it's like my baby. So I gotta give it the most attention as I can to give you the album. And so, you know, when people promote albums, a lot of the mistake I feel like with promotions or promoting the album is a lot of people, they promote the same, like either 30 seconds of a song, or they post like it's the same, right? You just get the same, like they just post the same, either the album cover or the track list or something. You know, they're not really creative with it. People, they want to be entertained now. You know, you got to get people you got to, you know, be a personality and creative with it, you know? So with me, it was like, I just add sazon. Like, it might be like different clips of the same song or whatever, but I spice it up to the story, or I add, you know, post clips or different things like that, just to get like the listener really with the album. You know, a lot of what I want to post is, at some point, I just want to promote the album to you damn near hear the whole album. You know, that's how hard I want to go with it. But I want to find that balance of not bugging people with actually putting it out there for you guys. You know, I'm not going to be one of these assholes that posts 5 times a day or whatever, 5 stories, you know, 10 posts or however the formulaic traditional type thing where people just bombard the timeline. I don't like that myself, so I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to keep it real modest, right? But still promote it. It's a good balance. I feel like you can find a really good balance. Me, is quality over quantity. I never want to feel like you have to listen to the album. I want you to feel like when you do check me out, just check out the album, bruh. You know, I got so much shit on YouTube, but people nowadays, they're so used to just shit being easy for them. I don't know what the fuck, like they want their asses wiped for them or something like that. So I got the CDs, shout out to the distributor, but I literally got the CDs the day of. Look at that, bruh. Clean. So I got the CDs, right? It was really good quality for the price. I mean, you're not beating this quality, you know, and I'm not going to give the plug away, but if you're the homie, you know what I mean, holla at your boy and I'll get you hooked up. But really, with me, I got to fucking sneeze right now. Jesus Christ. This is going to, second time ever, we going for it. 3 times in a row, Greenlight 3, baby. That's how we talk. That's how we move in this year. 2023, 3 sneezes in a row. That's how I like it. But anyway, with the album, I'm literally giving this copy away. And somebody hit me up and was like, yo, you need my... He hit me up with 3 questions back to back to back. Like, yo, what you mean? You need my address? Like, what's going on? With like 9 question marks. Bruh, what's up with the question marks? Don't ever come out your face and give me 21 questions like this is a 50 Cent song. This isn't a mystery. Like, why you got all them question marks for me, bro? It's not a mystery, bro. This is a Scooby-Doo. You didn't need no Scooby snacks for this one, B. You really just... It's real simple. You know, you either meet me somewhere so I could give this to you if you don't feel comfortable with sharing your address with me. I would never rob somebody. I would never send my shooters out there fucking American Sniper style to hit you or something like that. I'm literally like genuinely like, bro, I'm trying to give this copy away. I'm not trying to sell it. I want to give this to you. Here, take it. I don't want it. This shit's just gonna take up space. I can always order more, bro. That's the thing with people. You think I'm gonna want this copy? I don't. I want to give it to my fans, whoever wants it, right? Because to me, I'm not about hoarding. I have about, I don't know how many. I have about 30 something copies of Voodoo Love, and I spent like a good amount of money on an album that only sold 1 copy. I'm gonna give it to y'all straight right here. I don't know if anyone remembered when I would do the flash sales for Voodoo Love, but I only made 1 sale. You know, I don't know if you want to do the math on that, but that's not a good overhead. I mean, with that 1 sale, yeah, I covered because I got the hookup. I covered a good amount of the money. You know, Jesus, what's going on? I'm fucking burping and fucking sneezing. I did actually have some good tamales that my tia Trini made. Shout out my tia Trini. She made some good ass tamales. So I'm fucking over here and not all the way podcast ready more. But it doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck, right? Fuck. The tamales were delicious. But anyway, going back to the Greenlight 3 shit. I don't know. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about already. Let me think about it for a second. Hold your horses. Yeah, so with Voodoo Love, I didn't make any money off of it. So I just lost money. This time I was really smart and I bought less than half of the amount of CDs I ordered last time. So it's just these are a very limited run. They're gonna be more expensive of Voodoo Love, but that was my whole that was my plan. Like, Voodoo Love was gonna be 33. Okay, if you don't buy those, the next album's gonna be more. So I don't know what the fuck people are doing out here. And lo and behold, these are going to be $45 each. So if you don't have the Fetty out, or if you're broke, or you just want to spend your money at the bar or on fucking condoms or whatever it is to fuck your boyfriend, I don't know. But literally, this is going to be the only copy I'm giving away for free. So if nobody takes this, I'm just going to give it away at one of my shows, since nobody wants to support your boy. And that's another thing. There's people who say they support you, and then there's people who support you. Like, shout out my dog, One Voice. Shout out my good friend, NC. Shout out to JBL, like Looney. All the homies that are really supportive. Ray Guns, you know, all the homies that I'm not going to go through the list right now. But if you really support me, you really support me. Don't be in my face talking about, yeah, you know what I mean, when it comes out, yada, yada, yada. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you say. Anything that anyone's ever said to me about something relating to their word, it doesn't matter to me. I want to see your actions. What is you really saying with your actions that's going to convince me that you're a real homie? Because, ¿sabes qué? When you tell me, when you do all this chitter-chatter and you're a chatty-matty about support and shit like that, that goes through one ear, out the other. It flies out the window. Foo! You know what I mean? It doesn't mean shit to me. What is you really going to do when my album drops? I've seen, shout out to Avis. Shout out to M1. Like, there's real people out here that'll support you. So I'm not giving a fuck about the people who say they do, but it's just like when I work on something really hard and you go front like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna support you, you know what I mean? Da, 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 da. You give me all this like, you know, back in the day or day one shit. Like, you're not my day one, bro. If you can't even like or comment or give any type of support to my albums, then shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to be around you. I really don't, bro. Cause my fucking time, mi tiempo, is real fucking expensive now around these days. So if I'm even chopping it up with you, bro, that means I'm really spending valuable time. And you know what I mean? Not that no one else values their time, but it's just I'm really fucking busy, bro, and I do not have time to be fucking around fake people. Or people who say one thing and then they do another thing. You know, I don't know if you would call that fake. I mean, I would, but like, I don't know. I don't know what's up with people. I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't care. So I'm not going to dwell on it too much. It's just like, I'm going to leave it alone. Like, there it is there. Like, I already know people who probably think I don't know who they really are. Like, I analyze everybody, bro. Like, I'm a mean psychiatrist with this shit. Like, I peep people, like, looking in their eye, weighing their words against their actions, everything. Like, just the way you dress, the way you talk about other people, the way you speak to me about certain things. It's not hard to read people. People are easy to read like books. You just got to have an eye for it, you know? So that's just what it is with people. They think that in public they could personify this character that they're really not. You're really not that, bro. Like, you're not fooling me. Nevertheless, fooling anybody else who could see right through that. But that's what I'm saying with like making up a character and just going about around town trying to convince people you're this person that you're not. Like, whether it be in your music or whatever, in your artistic expression, whatever it is, I see right through that. And I'm fucking done with talking about shit that got nothing to do with Greenlight 3. But just, you know, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So it's everywhere. Greenlight 3 is on Amazon. It's Amazon Music. You could put that in the cart along with your girlfriend's vibrator. I tweeted that. That was fucking funny. That was hilarious. You can listen to it on Napster. I didn't even know. Did I talk about this last time? I think we did already. But everywhere, YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music. Like, I'm really giving this album the attention it deserves because it's like phenomenal. Like, every beat, every rhyme, every song is the shit. Right? Okay. So we're going to talk about long albums versus short albums. There's a lot of albums, and I don't know how people do this now, that are like 20 songs. Please do not do that. Especially if you're like, every song sounds the same. Like, you're chasing that hit. I know Migos, they did that. I don't know if it's Chris Brown. But a lot of people, they make these long ass albums that are the same song. It's the same song. It's the same 1, 2, 3 formula, whatever. Eggs and baking soda, mix it together. I don't know what it is. I hate that shit. Now give me an album where everything is different. Put some sazon on it. Experiment. Put some skits. Like a Redman. Redman's first album, he has skits. He has songs that were different. Every song didn't sound like Tonight's the Night. I wish Redman would have gave me a whole album of Tonight's the Night. Guess what? He didn't do that. He wanted to go in different lanes and different places, and that's what I tried to do with Greenlight 3. I prefer shorter albums. The last long album I made was Picasso and Matisse, which was 20 tracks. It would have been 21, but Nicholas Craven shut down one of the songs. Salute to him. I have no hard feelings about it. You know, he wanted his money for his work, and that's fine. We didn't have $200 to spend on one beat at the time. It just wasn't gonna happen. No one was about to split the money to do a song that was like 46 seconds or however long fucking that song was. Like, it doesn't even make sense now. It didn't make sense then. With short albums, I really do appreciate it. Work on a solid body of work, chop it down to around 10 songs, and we gonna get it cracking. Because when you try to do some extra shit, put in filler tracks to some album just so you think it's gonna sell, it's not gonna work, especially not now. People see through that. The skip button has never been more prevalent than today. I'm surprised we don't have a two track skip button, so you could just get right to the shit, boop boop, and you're already at the end of the album. You know, that's where we're headed now. People just aren't consuming music as they used to. You can't even sell hard copies anymore unless you're like a known name, like a Makami or a Estinag. It's one of these dudes out here that are really selling hard copies. Shout out to Starker. But me, I don't have fans. I'm gonna be real. I don't got fans. I don't got people that are out here trying to buy albums. I don't have none of that. I'm still on the come up, and it's heartbreaking to me because I've like grinded so hard at this point for like barely any minimal support. I'm getting support from other artists more than like fans, and I don't like that. I love every one of my artists out there that rock with me. I got mad love for y'all, but I didn't come into the game to have an artist following. I came in the game to get a fan base, which I don't know what it is. I've been doing shows. I feel like I'm not going to be doing shows much longer. Like, I'm going to be on this Greenlight 3 run, and that's it. Like, I'm going to re-strategize, refocus, because I'm not about to do the same shit. I'm not going to keep doing the same shit. Like, I'm going to figure out how to attain my goals. And right now, it looks like I've hit like a fucking wall or something like that. Now, granted, with doing these shows, I met other promoters so I could do other shows. So I'm establishing those connections. That's cool. But I'm not getting fans. I'm out of that. I'm getting followers. Followers don't translate to fans. Followers don't translate to money. So these are things you got to think of as an artist to kind of like realize maybe we're like not filling in the gaps here. Maybe we're not doing some of the right things that we should be doing, right? Not saying I'm doing any of the wrong things, but going back to short albums, this is 9 tracks. You know, real short, real nice and sweet. It's just under half an hour, 29. And I didn't even program it that way. You know, 9:29. The album came out 29 minutes. The album is. I fucking didn't even engineer it like that. It was just like that's how it would have been longer because I wanted to put like more like skits and shit. But I thought, you know what? I don't want this to be long and drawn out. I just want it to be like boom. You like. Boom, one track is here, it's gone. Next track, boom, it's here, it's gone. Like, you know, I just wanted a rapid fire, boom, 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 boom. I didn't want to make it, you know, all complex. Like, the first half is all bangers and the next half is all slow jams. You know, I wanted to be like this, like, fucking real tight, heavy flowing barrage of you know, tracks that you could listen to and just sit down and listen to the whole thing. I really hate that. I really hate clocking albums, you know what I mean? Where you would listen to an album and it's going good. It's going real good, right? You listen to an album, then like a whatever track comes, you're like, all right, whatever, what's the next song? And then that track is like not good. And you're like, fuck, what's the next track? And that track's not good. And you're like on track 8, right? That's track 8. And you're like, how many more albums is this? We're not even halfway through this album. Oh, hell no. What the fuck? So then you start skipping tracks. This song sucks. This song sucks. Wait. Hold on. Wait. This song sucks. And then you skip it. So you know what I mean? I didn't want, because I'm a listener and I know what I want from my artists to listen to from the artists I listen to. That's how you know how to maneuver through your albums. So that's pretty much how I made it. I never make it to where I know I'm solely going to like it. I'm thinking, okay, how is the listener going to, if I'm listening to this and I'm fucking like, okay, this is a slow part. You got to be conscious of that. The last 2 songs are the slowest songs of the album, but it's like, it's a setup, right? So the track number 8, Angel Cake, that's a slow jam. And 9, you get to the real shit. So I'm talking pretty much all this gun shit up until with like sprinkle with some real shit up until Angel Cake. That's a slow jam. Auto K, I'm talking about some the realest shit, and then the album's done. You know. So for the most part, I'm like just giving you like back to back, just boom, 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 like hardcore fucking dope aggressive tracks. Slow jam, real shit, we out of here. Beautiful. I wish every album was like that. Unfortunately, it's not. A lot of tracks, a lot of albums I feel like aren't sequenced properly. And the sequencing on my I sequenced the album, moving around, rearranging tracks. I've been working on that. I was working on that for like months, you know what I mean? So I pay very attention to detail. I'm not gonna give you some bullshit as like the listener. I'm gonna methodically plan it out and be like, okay, as a consumer, does this make sense? Does it not make sense? Why not? Is it too much here? Is it too much there? We got too much gun rap. We need to go to real shit. Too much preachy. It sounds too preachy. Okay, we gotta hit them with the lyrics. Like, that's just how I make my albums, right? So over the weekend, it was the Crossroads of the West gun show, and it was fire. Like, this was my first time. Me and my dad, we went to a gun show. They had all kinds of ammo at great prices. They had all kinds of magazines at great prices. Everything was at great prices. The only thing that was like money wise that was high was the vendors that were selling food. And you're not even at a gun show to sell food, but they did have some nice stuff like this. I don't want to insult them, but they look like Middle Eastern, maybe Indian, Pakistani. I don't know, maybe more Indian dudes that were selling different snacks like cashews and sunflower seeds. I think they were butter toffee sunflower seeds. Bomb. Like I really want them. I really would like to see them back at the next gun show because they was smacking, bruh. They was literally the bee's knees. We got mango slices. They were bomb. They had like some chile tajin looking like snacks. Next time I go, I want to try those. And this other homie from Atlanta, he had like some sweet beef jerky that was fire. So the whole experience was fire. We were just there. I bought a Glock 19 magazine and a Glock 17 magazine. I just got a Glock 19. I just bought one. It's on layaway. It's not paid in full because I didn't got the Fetty out of the whole 750 for it. But I bought the OD Green Glock 17. Fire. I mean, like, for me, it looks like whenever you see like a wet eye with a fat ass or something, you like got to do a double take. Like, damn, mommy, like that. You know what I mean? Just a sexy ass pistol. You know what I mean? So I bought the 2 magazines for my Glocks. And my dad bought me some Bursa Pro Mag magazines for my Bursa Firestorm. But I was telling my pop, like, these are Pro Mags. I've heard that they're not that great. You know, they malfunction or whatever it is on eBay from people ordering them. But he bought them for me anyway. So I was like, I didn't tell him. Like, he bought them. He just bought them for me. And I was like, okay. And he was like, you didn't test them out? And I'm like, I loaded them. We haven't gone to the range. So how are we you're not going to know how a magazine performs until you go out of the range. And he's like, well, if you don't like them, well, let's return them because we were going to go again the next day, Sunday. And I'm like, there's no way we're going to go to the range and to the gun show. Like, it's not. So my dad, he was looking at all the ammo prices. And he's like, just figuring out, okay, maybe not this place. Because a lot of people, there were like 2 big companies that had all kinds of ammo. But we settled for this one place. I think it was called Millwall.com or Millwall or something like Millwall, something like that. And there was actually 2 wet eyes working there that were fire. They reminded me of like, I don't know, some Hannah Montana, like something mixed French with some, I don't know, Canadian, something like that. These were fire mommies. They look like sisters. One of them had like a bubbly personality. The other one looked like more introverted. But anytime, how I feel about wet eyes, I'm just like, all right, play ball. But the next day, Sunday, we literally were in and out. I told my dad, I was like, what we got to do is, because we went right in like the middle of the day. There's no parking on Saturday. It was all booked. I told my pop, tomorrow we got to come early, like before it opens, run right to the ammo and just buy all the ammo that we need and get out in and out like fucking thieves in the night. So that's what we did. And my pop, he just bought a 45, and he wanted to buy more ammo than one can conceivably imagine, right? My pop buys 12,000 rounds of ammunition. Crazy. I mean, there was stacks and I mean, the what's it? The dolly we had, the ammo was stacked up all the way almost to the tip top, and it was so fucking heavy. All that ammo I carried down to the car because they let us borrow the car. They weren't gonna take that shit to us. We literally took it from wherever they had it to our car, and it was a fucking bitch and a half. But fuck it, you know, and we put it all in the safe. And these 12,000 rounds, I was like, this shit is going to last us for a while. And my dad was like, probably until next summer. It just all depends until, you know, we actually go to the range and shoot the shit. Because we're already out. We were already out of 9. Already out of almost 380. We're good on 5.56 and 308. He just got a 45. So really, all of our ammo he bought was on 9, 380, and 45, which I think is phenomenal. You know what I mean? I love it. I love that my pop is out here doing what he wants to do with his money, because for the longest time, my pop never bought really shit for him. My pops don't buy clothes. That's why I bought my pop shoes for his birthday. He don't go out. He's not a drinker. We're all living a sober life, by choice, of course. You know, he just doesn't spend his time, like he doesn't spend his money out there like that, you know. So he's literally been saving all his money, just bought a bunch of guns, ammo, and he loves it. He loves, you know, taking me out there with him, and we'll go and we'll shoot, and we'll bump fucking Los Tucanes de Tijuana out there, and it's fucking, you know, it's fun, you know. I feel like because that was all his poker money. Like my pop was telling me, you know, he loves poker. So within that, he's talking about, he plays poker every day on his phone. So he's talking about how, you know, in poker, they teach you need like a side pocket, like your poker money, you know, so you don't go in debt or whatever it is, or you don't lose all your money in your house. So my pop's been saving money for years. And had he blown it on poker, I feel like it really wouldn't have. He really wouldn't have got the enjoyment, because poker's a real like boom, like it's here and it's gone. Like you could easily spend $1,000 one day. He can do it, and he would have done that. Maybe even more if he had that much money. One day, just blown a good amount of it, for sure. You know, sitting there 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, wherever at Pachanga. You know, I'm not gonna want to plug any of the casinos until they pay me or sponsor this podcast, but had he done that, he wouldn't have had as much fun. And now he could protect the house, he could go shooting, we could go hunting, we could do whatever, you know. There's a lot of things you could do with firearms besides self-defense. You know, you can have fun, you could just practice competition shooting, hunting, you know, pests, vermin. So my first time shooting, I don't know if I explained this before, but we were somewhere by Arizona or something like that. We were in the mountains. We didn't have guns at the time. I had my dad had just bought me the Wu-Tang manual and a Wu-Tang CD. I was a young lad at this time. We were bumping 36 chambers on a fucking DVD player that was foldable. We still got it. But that's how far away this thing is. It was like, you know those TV monitors that used to be on the, like, that used to, like, flip down in those, in, like, cars? Like, in the early 2000s, that's what it looked like. Just like a little monitor. And I watched so many movies, Godfather, and just a shitload of movies on that thing. But you could also play albums. You put a CD in there, it starts playing the album. So, we're bumping 36 chambers. We're in the desert. And it's the first time shooting. And I remember as a young teenager, I didn't like 9s. I didn't like high calibers. I think I shot a 40 once, and that was it at that time. I've shot 40s now. I've shot pretty much a lot of things now. There's only a few. I mean, there's a lot of ammunition out there. But from the popular, I've shot every popular round. 22, 9, 45. And then within that, you have, you know, 380, .40, never shot a 38 special, Magnum and all that shit, 357 and all that. Those aren't common, so whatever. We're not gonna buy those guns anyway. Like, it just doesn't even make sense. Quality over quantity. The first time shooting we went, I was all in the 22s, and we went shooting with my pops' co-workers. They're all mechanics, and they had a crazy collection. I'm talking, they had a Uzi, a Desert Eagle. They had a lot of the variety was in 22. So they had like Rugers, they had Lugers, what is them shits? Not Hammerlock. Lever action rifles. They had a 22 like Henry Repeater, Python, revolvers. I mean, I pretty much had a ball with like all their 22, and they were shooting like, if I remember, more 9s. I remember shooting like a Beretta M9, and I remember I like that. I really like that 9mm as a kid, which is funny because my dad has a Beretta, and I'm not a big fan of it. You see the John Woo movies. He's over here double action. Akimbo with the Berettas, but Beretta's like, I don't know, maybe I need to shoot it more, but to me, I'm not a big fan of full-sized pistols. Maybe it's something I need to get used to. The Glock 17 is a full size, so maybe I'll grow to like it from the Glock 17. Who knows? You know what I mean? And it's funny because I bought some 6-hour hollows the day Greenlight 3 drops. You already know how to buy some hollies. Going back to the first time I went shooting, it was fun. They had I think they had like something like an M4 or something. It was like a tricked out. It looked like an M16, but it was like an M4 or something. It was really dope. My first time shooting. What else was I gonna say? My favorite guns. At that time were definitely 22. Now I despise 22 because of how low the caliber is. And people want to say, well, a bullet's a bullet. You don't want to get shot with a 22. Yeah, but you see, the thing is, if people really want to shoot it out with you, a 22 is not going to be enough. So you might as well go with a 9 hollow points, in my opinion. We have a lot of pistols, man. I definitely I'm still rocking with my Glock 19 and my Bursa Firestorm. I don't know if it's because those are my personal ones. In my opinion, my dad's P238, it's a little tiny for me. Then again, I haven't really shot that much. All my pops' firearms, I haven't shot too much with. The only really ones I like from my pop are his CZ P01, P01. That one's a fire compact. I love it. CZ makes phenomenal pistols. And the Ruger 5.56. The M1A is that's the cover to Greenlight 3. This is actually an M1A if nobody knew. It's a little too powerful. I like it though. It's great. The kick is just crazy. Like, it literally feels like someone's socking you the fuck out. Like, you've just been just bam, bam, bam. You know what I mean? Like, you could fucking knock a hippo down. Like, fucking just boom, just hit his ass, snipe his ass from the roof or whatever it is. So yeah, the 308's a really big fucking round. I like loading them though, which I think is cool. Yeah, and I can't wait to get the 17 and the 45 my dad has. He just bought the Springfield 1911. Can't wait to shoot that, see what it does, see what's crack-a-lacking with that shit. I was watching this Pakistan gun market, and it's crazy. Like, the fact that the amount of guns they hand make in Pakistan, and they're like fucking gunsmiths, but they're like poor as fuck. So they're just like over there in the Pakistan gun market. I seen this on Vice. This dude had like 0 firearm experience. Like, his finger was on the trigger the whole time, pointing it at people. And the crazy part is, these fools, they went to the shooting range, which was literally on the rooftop of one of the buildings there, and they were just shooting at the mountains. And in the video, you could see like dudes shooting shotgun shells in the air, and they were finding like slugs and birdshot on the floor. They're like, where do these land? Oh yeah, they land right on the fucking floor wherever they shot it. Like, you know what I mean? So I thought that was crazy. They really should have sent somebody with some firearm experience, or at least had this fool go to the range, because I was really uncomfortable just watching the shit. Because if I was there And granted, he's with his people and all that. He speaks their shit or whatever, however they chopped it up or whatever it is. I would have felt unsafe. And I get it, bro. You're in somebody else's land and this is how they're cool with it. But, bro, your reflexes, just everything, your fingers on the trigger, at some point, you're going to pull it. Whether it's by accident or on purpose, it's going to go off. And you're going to hit somebody. And you're going to be accountable for it. So that shit is on you. I thought that was wild. Fucking just all these kind of like illegal gun markets or things of that nature is crazy to me. Like these cartel videos I've been watching of these dudes who become like sicarios, or they just like, so in Mexico, you pretty much can't get a gun. There's literally one gun store in all of Mexico, and it's in the capital, Mexico City. I think you're only allowed one fucking handgun, and that's it, or something like that. Like, I think you could literally only own one, and then you can't even own ammo or something. You pretty much can't own a firearm in Mexico, which I think is bullshit, because you can just buy a gun off of the streets, which you shouldn't do. You should go through the legal process of actually owning a gun, which pretty much the cartel ain't gonna do. What the fuck? Like, these fools get whole AKs and bazookas and drones that drop bombs and C4, and these motherfucking cartels are moving like the fucking militia out here. Not even a militia, like the fucking, they moving like the Nazis out here, bro. They got tanks, they got armored vehicles and all kinds of shit that you would only see in GTA 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and shit. It's scary. It really is. And you know what the crazy part is? A lot of people get this argument. Well, if nobody had guns, there'd be no crime. Wrong. That is completely false. That is some bullshit. You know what I mean? The community in Mexico that I was watching that is free of the cartel, free of the government, it's like their own slice of paradise. They're armed. They regulate and they patrol and they establish checkpoints and all that. They're armed, they're ready to go, and they're funded by the people. It's not like they're smuggling shit in illegally. No one knows. No, everyone chips in. Everyone, you know, they get their equipment, they get their bullets or whatever it is. And the community, everyone is rocking together because they're on the same program. They're on the same type of time. They're an indigenous community out there in Mexico, which I thought was fire, because the whole video, I wanted to cry. All these communities that are bullet ridden and got, you know, the cartels just fucking fucked these whole communities over. And it's a lot of shit like that, bro. A lot of people are getting pushed out. Families just devastated, killed. Husbands, wives, daughters, children, cousins, brothers, sisters. Everybody is deeply affected by what's going on with the fucking government doing business with the cartel and the corruption in the U.S. Because if the U.S. really wanted it, they'd go in fucking Vietnam style and just purge the shit. They're not doing that because they obviously make money off of the cartels doing their bullshit, right? And no disrespect to the cartels out there. This isn't an attack on the cartels. I'm just saying, like, you know, I get what they're trying to say, like, oh, they're moral and, you know, their honor amongst thieves and all that. I get that. That's cool. But it's just like, you got to be real about it, bro. Like, you got to break eggs to make an omelet. And unfortunately, in Mexico, it's a lot of fucking eggs to make this one fucking omelet order for you. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Please, nobody, you know, take this as disrespect out there. I don't mean to disrespect anybody or get my facts wrong. But it's just like, Mexico is in a crazy fucking place right now, bro. It's the Wild West right now. And nobody seems to be giving a fuck. No one does. No one seems to care. Everyone is just like on YouTube looking at videos and not really doing shit about it. It's crazy. It really is. You know, I would love to do some sort of, you know, community work over there or whatever it is. I still got to figure that out. I don't even speak Spanish. We're not even supposed to speak Spanish. We're supposed to be speaking our native languages, you know, our indigenous languages, which we've lost hundreds of years ago. Maybe these small little communities haven't, but for the most part, the fucking language of Mexico, is it Spanish? That's a good question. I don't want to look it up, but I don't think it is. But then looking at like other militias and shit, like the 3%ers or whatever, these fools kind of scare the fuck out of me. Like they're really prepping for doomsday. I mean, who could blame them? But when you have like this radical extremist idea of something bad is gonna happen, I just think that's like a whole nut job case. Anything that has to do with like mob mentalities or gangs or anything like that, I really take it with a grain of salt, because you're getting indoctrinated into a program that there's certain rules you have to follow, right? And maybe those rules aren't suited for everybody. And you look at militias and cartels, the fucking real only difference is the militias ain't pushing drugs. Or maybe they're not out there putting themselves out there. Maybe they are pushing drugs. But you look at some of these militia things and cartels, the difference is civilians and criminals. I'm sure if militias were criminals, they'd be getting called cartel members. If cartels were civilians and not pushing drugs and being criminals, they'd be a fucking militia. And that's just the bottom line. We're not all that different, you and me. We're really not. Last thing. I find it interesting that Chapo's wife is free and Chapo's son is getting extradited. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just phenomenal how politics work? You're telling me that one day that Chapo's son is getting extradited and then the next day Chapo's wife is free? She's not free. She's like, in the process of being free, but she's not in prison anymore. Versus Holmes is over here about to eat fucking tea and biscuits in a fucking 4x4 somewhere in Montana or whatever the fuck, Colorado in the mountains or whatever they got him. It's just Mexico is in like a crazy place right now, and I don't see it getting any better. I see it getting worse. I see it becoming something like a Haiti, where it's gonna go from covert corruption to just blatant corruption, which there is blatant corruption in Mexico, but I don't see it becoming any better. It's fucking sad. The choices people have to make in poverty to even support their family, like killing people for money or robbing or stealing or dealing drugs, is crazy. So it kind of bummed me out, but then at the same time, I was just like, you know what? Everyone makes a fucking choice. These people, they fully know what they're doing isn't right. They know they're killing people and they're living with regret and all that. So that's them. They could have studied. They could have, done that. You know what I mean? But they didn't. They chose to go to the dark side, like fucking Darth Vader. So that's on them, man. Message of the day is, man, be real mindful of the choices you make. We all have choices, and there's no such thing as I had no choice. There always is a choice, bro. It's just, are you gonna make the right one? Or are you gonna make the wrong one? If you're gonna make the right choice, are you gonna live with it? Are you gonna make the wrong choice? Are you gonna live with that? Because we're all making choices, and don't give nobody them fucking sad stories of, that's bullshit, bruh. It either is or it isn't. This is the God's Hour.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now, while the angels fly over my headstone.